How many people would say that they've experienced something in their life that they wish that they could totally forget? Well, that's many of us, myself included, and I can actually help with that. I am Whitney Doyato, a licensed marriage and family therapist, Christian counselor at Serenity Marriage and Family Counseling, LLC, and I am an EMDR trained therapist. So today I'm going to talk to you about what EMDR is, because a lot of people don't know what it is, and it's been the most healing therapy that I've been able to use in my own private practice. EMDR is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, is kind of sweeping around the nation, and I'm very thankful and blessed and privileged to be able to say that I am trained in it. So what it does is it really helps with PTSD, anxiety, depressions. I've even seen people with eating disorders be able to come through different circumstances in life through this EMDR processing. So the eye movement desensitization and reprocessing is a type of trauma processing. Some people get really, how can I say, they get some upheaval whenever they hear the term trauma, and I know it's kind of a scary word, but there's two different types of trauma. There's a big T trauma, which would be something such as a tornado coming and destroying your house. You don't have anything left over. That's a big T trauma. And then there's little T trauma, such as maybe you were in 5th grade and someone said something about your outfit and it really stuck with you. But for the sake of this video, any trauma is anything that you feel like has stuck with you that has happened to you. So EMDR works off of past, present, and future. So we'll say most of the things that we are actually going through right now have their roots in some past event that we have not processed through. Say, for instance, I call my husband and he doesn't answer the phone, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he never wants to talk to me. I'm not good enough. So what we do in EMDR is we float it back to a time in your life, the first time in your life you've ever felt this way, and it could be whenever you were in the 3rd grade and you misspelled something in a spelling bee. And so it's almost like you carry this theme in your life, such as I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, I can't be trusted, I have to be perfect. Some of these things that we hold on to, and they have their roots in things that may be something that we wouldn't have even ever traced back to the things that are bothering us in this future. So in the eye movement desensitization, it's basically bringing together both sides of your brain, because one side of the brain is very rational and the other side of the brain is very irrational. So let's say, for instance, you hear a tap outside on your window and you're thinking, oh my gosh, someone's breaking in, but then the rational side of your brain said, you know, it's just raining outside, it's probably just a branch brushing up against the window. So it's really reconciling both sides of your brain so you can think about things more rationally and you can more morph into a healthier thought and belief. So in the eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, it's basically about cross movements helping both sides of the brain to come together to connect, to be able to process through something that's almost stuck. And so the eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, it's something that, it's a trauma that is stuck into our brains. Let's say when we were 5 years old, we felt inadequate, and then maybe we felt anxious, and the feelings that we feel, you can kind of feel it in your stomach. So we kind of work with all these sensations, the thought, an image, these feelings that are behind it, and where you keep it in your body. So let's say if you keep stress in your shoulders, so when you go back to the time, you can kind of feel it, and then we get those things unstuck so you can see things in a different way. So if you're 5 years old and you're thinking about things and feeling inadequate, the perspective of everything around is going to feel like, okay, well, this happened, and that happened. That's because I was inadequate. But once you can see I am worthy, it's almost like the whole focal point of what happened when you're in 5th grade. So it's not that I'm inadequate, it's like I didn't study enough, or some of these words they're just going to be hard, and that's okay. So you can externalize the things that are going on instead of carrying on that burden of this was me, this was my fault. And we can do that in 3 different channels. So one is eye movements, which is what I do. So it's kind of like a bilateral, we call it bilateral stimulation. So it's stimulating both sides of the brain. You can do audio, so it's kind of like you can either have different audio sounds, beeps, buzzing, different things like that that are going one side, one side, one side, one side. And then there's also touch. So that could be me tapping your hands, me tapping your legs. And so basically it's just cueing into both sides of your brain as you're processing through this traumatic event. And the thing that I really like about it, a lot of times in trauma, you don't want to openly talk about it, I guess. But it's not about me knowing what's going on inside your brain. It's about kind of your brain reconciling that in between itself. And I'm just kind of checking in and helping facilitate what these things are. So if there's any questions or comments or concerns, if you want me to kind of break down a little bit more what EMDR is, feel free to give me an email, to like, to share, to send me a personal message. I'd definitely be willing to kind of discuss what that looks like more in detail. I give actually a 10-minute free consultation. And my office number is 918-970-0095. So you're more than welcome to give me a call. You can go online at www.serenitycounselingtulsa.com to schedule an appointment as well. So if there's anything that I can do, please feel free to reach out, because I am here to serve you, and I hope that you have a blessed day, and I want you to be your best you. So if there's any type of trauma that you have, any anxiety, depression, any PTSD, I mean, it's worked with war veterans, it's worked with a lot of people, and actually being EMDR trained, all of the facilitators and all of the therapists have to go through EMDR training as well. So we have to utilize different things in our own life that has been considered traumatic, and we had to process through that as well. So I can say wholeheartedly that this really does work. So there was different things that I had to work through that it no longer sticks with me. So the whole point of EMDR is to neutralize any of the disturbances that you have. So the memory doesn't go away, but the disturbance of the memory is gone. So I can think back on some of the things that I processed in the EMDR whenever I was in my clinical training, and there's no disturbance there. So there's not to be flippant, but it's a part of my chapter, and it's a part of what happened, but it's not anything that's earth-shattering. So I can kind of think about it, and it's really just not to neutral disturbance. And that's one of the things that I really love about it. So we're supposed to take you from whatever event that you feel like is traumatic, and you can think about it, and you don't get that anxiety, you don't get that churning, you don't get that feeling in your gut or in your chest or in your core, that void anymore whenever you think about that. 'Cause sometimes there's issues that we're like, I don't want to think about that, I'm going to shove it away. But the more we shove, the more it compiles. And whenever you compile things, it's either going to lead to one of two things. And that's going to be an explosion or an implosion. Either one of them is not helpful. So let me help you. Let me find someone who can do that. And if you go on the EMDR website, it's EMDRIA. And you can find an EMDR trained therapist and even an EMDR certified therapist. So if there's anything else I can help you with, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.